Hey guys, it's Dee from the Maitland Animal Management, and Tani's behind the camera. It's been a while since we've done a blog, isn't it, Tani?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, so we thought let's get back to it. And one of the things that we were going to talk about is the number of strays that we get in, and part of my job here is to actually determine whether or not it's a genuine stray or is it a dumping. And so when I used to be at Erin, I had the nickname Ace Ventura. Here, Tani's called me the Find Out
Ologist.
Ologist?
Yeah, find out ologist.
Find Out Ologist, yes. So part of my job is to look at every animal that comes in, and if we can find an owner straight away, that's fabulous. If we don't, then it's my job to start investigating. And last year we caught 116 people dumping their animals. That is the ones that we actually have proven 100% without a doubt. And Tani has done a collage of all those animals that ended up being dumped by their own owners. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, you know, what is people supposed to do if they can't have their animals? And we get that, but if you look at our sign outside, pounds are for genuine strays. Now, we do have an aspect of a surrender side, but the impound side must keep flowing. We must have kennel space for animals that have to come in that are genuinely strays. We also get animals that are seized by rangers, animals that have been involved in a dog attack on a person or an animal. You can't leave those animals out in the community to keep attacking people. And, you know, you must have space. So part of my job is to keep the kennels turning over. And one of the things I start with is, why did that animal come in? Who brought it in? Where was it found? And is it a stray? So that's part of my job, is to get to the truth. And, you know, what we're seeing more and more now, it's at the hands of the owner, the owner's family, the owner's friends. It's just awful. But what really, really gets up my nose is the heartbreak that we see when they realise that they're here. They know that their owner did it to them because they took the car ride here, or they were handed over to the ranger by their owner. And it really, really hurts me to see the pain that they go through. But the ones that really kill me are the ones that we don't know their name, we don't know their date of birth, we don't know their history. Now, we've had people dump dogs that have killed other animals, and the owners wanted to get rid of the animal, so they just put the animal into the pound. Now, you think, if we don't know the history of that animal and we adopt that animal out, you know, we can only do so much testing here. Now, we do dog testing, we do cat testing, we don't have children here, but, you know, we see how they interact with visitors and stuff like that. Sometimes that vital information is so imperative to us. But the amount of people that are risking other people's homes by not being honest. Now, we recently had some dogs here, and they'd been involved in multiple dog attacks, and they were the most friendliest dogs. We were all cuddling them, but at some point those dogs had a trigger, and then they turned on the people touching them, and they hospitalized one person very badly. I think it was something like 22 puncture wounds.
Something like that,
and
yeah.
that person was taken to hospital. Now, those dogs, the owner had actually tried to rehome them after the first dog attack. You know, and so these are the things that when people are dumping their animals, they don't give any consideration that we can't give that animal comfort by knowing their name, because trust me, they cry. They cry, they howl, they whinge, they stop eating. once they come into an impound facility and reality hits to them, it affects them very badly. And you know, sometimes we can sit there and we can call them their name, and that is just enough to give them a bit of comfort. And so, you know, people who dump their animals, they don't give any consideration. So that really drives me harder to do my investigation. And whether or not I'm wearing my detective hat or not, I eventually do everything to get to the truth. I don't do it for the people's sake, I do it for the animals. And I also do it for the next family that may inherit that dog. And it's just, you know, people think that owning a dog is their right. It's not, it's privilege. These animals are only with us for a short window of our life. And if you're like me or Tani or anybody else that has lost an animal that is like a soul, like our second soul, it kills us. I'd do anything to have some of my animals back. All of them, really. That sounded wrong. But some people will just get rid of this one and go get another one. Now, we had a case like that. We had 2 dogs come in. They got diagnosed with parvo. They were handed to the rangers as strays. They then got involved in another 2 dogs, and of course parvo lives in the ground for a long time, and those dogs came in with parvo. People just, it kills me that people think animals are so disposable, and it's because of that that I'm determined to be their voice. And you know, we always ask the community, so if these people think that, you know, you can keep doing that, those people are in for a rude shock, because not only when we do get to the truth, it's usually a consequence to them. And you know what? If I can stop them from doing it to another animal by making them think twice, then that's what we do. That's part of our job, is to help those animals. We're here for those animals. And we always try and support owners, and we always help owners that are struggling to get their animals out of the pound. That's what our Freedom Bus are for. But it's those people that dump their dogs, they're the ones that I won't help. I just can't, because they don't deserve that. So anyway, that's just one part of our aspect. One aspect of our job is that we become detectives, really. Okay, so when we do get a stray in and we it's not microchipped, or we can't get in touch with the owner, we'll always advertise that animal on all the lost and found sites, community sites. It's really imperative, guys, that if you see a dog that you think, oh, I know that dog, pretty sure it's my neighbour's dog or it's such and such, it's really important to speak out, because it's not only their well-being, it's their mental health as well, because they really do get affected in an impound facility. You've got a lot of dogs barking and having their breakdown. It really takes a toll for some of those animals. We get animals here that put the brakes on and you can't get them in. You're literally having to sort of coax that poor animal in. And, you know, just our aim is to get them in and get them out so that it doesn't take a toll on them. So if you do recognise an animal, speak up for it. So here's our collage of all the ones that have been caught out doing the wrong thing. And these are just the ones we've caught. So it's really important to be their voice as well. We can't do it alone. We have to reach out to the community. And I'm sure that all those owners out there that love their pets, they'd be horrified. They'd never do this to their own animal. So be their voice as much as ours, because, we have to do better. We have to do better. It's one thing to need to rehome your pet. There's another thing to actually dumping it and wiping its history out. We have programs in place. We have waiting lists for surrenders. We have assisted rehoming. We network with rescues. to help as much as we can, but we don't rob them of their identity, and we don't jeopardize somebody else's family with vital information. Anyway, that's one aspect of what we do on a daily basis. Thanks, guys.